everyone, welcome back to my channel, Simply Stitched Crochet. My name is Christina, and wow, it has been a long time since I've been back on my channel, and I've missed it. I've missed it a lot, and I've missed you guys as well. So we're not gonna keep this intro very long. I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. So I've been gone for a long time, and life happened, and then I stopped crocheting for a good 2 or 3 months. I didn't crochet anything, and I just was like in a crochet funk or something. I don't know what was going on, but I'm back now. I'm excited to be back. I have a lot of great things to share with you all. I did pick my hook back up again eventually. So I have some finished projects to share with you all today, some current projects that I'm working on, and a little sneak peek about what I have planned going forward. So I'm here with my trusty dusty crochet notebook. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, going to talk about finished objects. So as I said, I did not crochet for a good 2 or 3 months. It was a really long time, and I just kind of got into a funk and wasn't interested in crocheting anything, and that happened to me around the same time last year. So maybe just that kind of window of time is just my time where I don't crochet. I don't know, but I did eventually pick up my hook again, and I finished some projects. So the first project I finished is a big one. Let me put my notebook down. Is this blanket, which I started at the beginning of the year. And this is what I call my berry square blanket. And it's just a granny square blanket. It is, I believe, it is 4 by, is it 4 by 5 or 4 by 4? 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's 4 by 4 square granny squares. Let me see if I can stand up and show you all. I'm gonna come over here and show it to you all. It's huge. Yes, so it's 4 by 4. I can't even show you the whole thing. But it's 4 by 4 squares. You can kind of see there. And I'll come bring you all back over here. 4 by 4 squares. And each square is 15 rounds, if I recall correctly. Let me count really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Each square is 14 rounds, and then it's joined with the 15th round. Even though I feel like that's not correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, I was wrong. So it's 15 rounds, and then it's joined with the 16th round in a gray color. I used all Stylecraft yarn, and these colors came from a color pack that I had bought sometime last year from Ophelia Talks, and I'll link her channel below. So this is one of her color packs. I don't remember which color pack it was at this point anymore, but there were 15 colors in that color pack. I 1 round in each color, and the only guideline I had was, so clearly this is 16 squares. I wanted each square to have 1 center in every color, and each square where the last round was 1 color, 1 of each color. And then obviously there's a square that has a repeat center and a repeat border, but they're not close to each other. And then I just picked a color from my stash that I had a lot of to join, and that's how I got this blanket. Some of the squares are completely done. Some squares I have not woven in the ends. That is something else that I will one day get to. But in the meantime, I have been using this blanket. I have been loving this blanket. I'm gonna keep it right here to keep me a little warm because I'm a little cold right now. So that's the first project that I finished. And even though there are ends still left, I'm calling it finished because once I start using it, it's finished. And I'm sure one day I'll be using it and I'll pick up, you know, my needle and start weaving it ends and then it'll be done. The next, ooh, I moved you guys. My next project is another blanket. Another blanket that I started sometime last year, and I had all the individual pieces in a bag in my closet, and I just, again, one day, I pulled out that bag of squares and I said, oh my gosh, I forgot I was working on that project. And I went to go make more squares, and I had notes, but I guess in a year's plus time, my tension has changed because I went through a good 2 or 3 hook sizes and could not match the size of the squares. I couldn't do it. It was not working. So I just said, well, I'm just gonna finish it, and it's very small. I can just hold it up. This one is also 4x4, and it's very small. I can't even, that's why I'm able to show it to you just sitting here. And so this blanket, I finished it right before my little fur baby's birthday. So this was her birthday present. And this pattern was also from Ophelia Talks. This was her duck pond blanket pattern. And I'll have any patterns from anyone. Of course, I will link those down below. So no worries about that. And yeah, so I gifted this to my little dog for her birthday. I finished it like a day or two before her birthday, and I said, happy birthday. So, and she loves it. This is the blanket she lays on during the day, and she's probably like, why did you take my blanket away? I needed to borrow it for a few minutes. But yeah, all the squares had all the ends woven in, so all I did was stitch them together and add the little stars. So I spent maybe a weekend on this, just finishing it up. So that was great. The next thing, I actually think I finished these before I finished this. I think I was working on the next projects during the time I was finishing this up. And I have 2 shawls. Of course, you know, when I did pick my hook back up, I went for some shawls. So they're both the same shawl pattern. And these are also from Ophelia Talks. This is her yoga shawl. And I made 2 of these. This first one, I used neutral colors. And let me again try to stand up and show it to you guys. Let's see if I can do this again. Come over this way. So they're very big. This is just her yoga shawl. It's very big. I can just like wrap it around myself. It kind of goes with my outfit today. But yeah, it's really nice. It comes out actually pretty far on me. And it has a really wide arm span. Okay, let me bring you guys back over here. So yeah, this is her yoga shawl. And for this one, I wanted to use colors that I don't normally put together. Like I like green individually, like gray individually, but I don't often put them together. But I did for this shawl. And do I remember any of the specs of what I did to make this? No, not off the top of my head. Did I write it down? I'm gonna go with that I did write it down, because yes, I did. So I used a 5mm hook, and the colors are Stylecraft DK, and this is Meadow, Lime, Apple, Gray, and Silver. And I think there's another color. Do I have another color? No, that's all the colors. Yeah, that's all the colors I used. That doesn't seem right. It says I also used, oh, is this color I used? Cypress. This color right here is Cypress. And I really love this. I kind of want to put this on right now. Maybe I will. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. It's warm and I'm a little cold. This has kind of been hanging in my closet for a couple months at this point. I haven't used it really since I finished making it, but I'm gonna bring it out now. And it's a good like fall shawl. Then I immediately started another one. I made these still when it was in the middle of summertime. So I made this second one, which I guess I should stand up and show you all this one as well. Here we go again. So this one is watermelon inspired, and same yarn, Stylecraft Specialty K. Okay, I'll come back over. And I'm back. Same yarn, Stylecraft Specialty K. This is, I just have in my notes written down pink. Obviously, this is hot pink. This is a green, cream, and black, and then the same green. Technically, this one I believe has, I think, 2 more rows to go, but I couldn't decide what color I wanted the shawl to finish on. And so I kind of just stopped, but now that I'm looking at it again, I'm calling it finished. I'm calling it finished, and I guess that's why I put it in this section, this category of projects, is because it's finished, apart from the ends that I haven't woven in, but again, that's fine. I still have like the stitch marker of, am I gonna add those last couple of rows or not? I'm not going to. So this one was my watermelon inspired shawl. You know, the pink, the green. This is like the rind on the watermelon. The black is the seeds. And yeah, this one's really nice. Again, nice and warm, so soft. Also used a 5mm hook for this. So love this. Finished object. 4 down. I think that was my last finished object. That was my last finished object. Now we're going to move on to my works in progress. So I have a few projects that I am in the midst of working on, and I'll start with the biggest one, but it's in the most pieces. And I'm gonna come bring you guys a little closer. Biggest one, but it's in the most pieces, and that is my Heartstrings Blanket, and that pattern is by Heather over at HG Designs Crochet. She recently released a collection of patterns, and I was so excited to get started. So yeah, I have it in pieces. And I guess I can pull out, I've started, it's a granny stitch or granny square blanket, but and it's like a bunch of really small granny squares, and then there's a heart, and I've finished, well, I haven't completely finished it, but I've started the heart. As you can see the heart shape, heartstrings. I have that completed almost. I still need to kind of add in these side pieces to fill in the gaps along the side of the heart. I have a whole bunch of the 2 round granny squares. This is what the majority of the body of the blanket is going to be made up of, and we're going to join them on the 3rd round. So I think this is 50 in here. I do have that written down, of course, so I know I'm not trying to make not one extra granny square. Okay, so this is 103 squares finished, and then I've started the next set of 100 centers, because I need 200 and something, 200 and a few extra total. So this is going into the second set of 100. So yeah, that's where I am with that. I've kind of taken a break from it, and I kind of just work on it casually. I'll be like, oh, let me just pick up 6 centers, put rounds on them, then I put it back. So I'm kind of working on it on and off, but I was working on it for a solid 2 weeks, just a few weeks past, not that long ago. And so I kind of just set it down for a little bit. And so let me put this back because I'm being very organized. I don't want to make any extra squares, so I don't want to lose anything. This is kind of like my finished parts bag. And then I still have like my to be continued part. So this is that blanket. It's amazing. Right now, this blanket can fit in 2 little bags. Okay, next project that I'm working on. Yes, this is one you all might remember me when I started my mermaid shawl. She's not done yet, but she has grown quite a bit. Just to give a recap, this is just a shell stitch shawl. I'm using a 3.75 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm using, it has started to come apart and I don't have it in a project bag when I probably should. This is a twister cake from Hobie. Twister Cake Hobie color 35. I think this color is called Mermaid, and that's why I called this my Mermaid Shawl. And you know, doing a shell stitch with the Mermaid Shawl. I wish I had finished this in time when I had gone to see The Little Mermaid, but I didn't. I only just picked this back up a few weeks ago, and I've been working on it when I go to the pool and just sit outside because it's light, so I don't mind if it's kind of sitting in my lap. It's not too hot. So yeah, I'm working slowly but surely working on this. It will be finished. I'm definitely at least halfway through the cake, so just trying to keep it together at this point. So I kind of just, when I'm not working on it, try to wrap the cake in the shawl. That's the protection, all the protection it needs. Okay, and I think I have, yes, one more project I'm working on, and that is a garment, like a clothing item. I am working on a granny stitch cardigan. The pattern I'm following is from AC Crochet. And I've made some modifications, just some minor ones so far. It's not done, but I'm using black sparkly yarn. This is Big Twist Twinkle. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook. This is supposed to be oversized, but mine's just the littlest bit more fitted. Like it's not quite oversized, which is how I wanted it. I imagine this being kind of the sweater that I use in the fall time when it's time for me to go walk my dog, just grabbing it, throwing it on. When, you know, I have to walk her early in the mornings and just need something to throw on really quick for the fall. That's how I imagine where I'll be wearing this. I have been following her pattern very closely. I just have made some small modifications for the sleeves because I didn't want my sleeves as open. I wanted them a bit more fitted around my wrist. And then I plan to, at this point, I plan to add cuffs to the sleeves, but I'm still kind of deciding because right now I'm almost done with one sleeve and it's fitting, like it's loose, like it's not completely fitted to my arm. It's got wiggle room. So I'm just kind of seeing once I get a little bit of the last few rows down if I'm gonna end up adding a cuff or not to it. But yeah, it's still kind of, it's in one piece, but it's still not finished. I have almost done with this one sleeve. I'm not gonna show this one yet because I want it to be, whenever I've tried this on as I've been making it, it is just, I mean, it's fabulous. I mean, you can see this sparkle even right now. So I'm not gonna try it on for you guys because I want to, when it's done, do a big like reveal too. Because I'm in love with it. I feel like I do 2 rows and then I try it on. And then I do 2 rows and then I try it on. So I'm just so excited for this to be finished. And Oh, it's good. This is good. I mean, I just looking even at it on camera, I'm like, wow, look at all that sparkle. Wow, it is just, oh, I love it. I love it. So those are all the projects that I have finished and slash am working on. So my plans for the future are to not disappear for months on end again. At least not for a little while, you know, at least not for a little while, not to disappear again. Finish my Heartstrings blanket. Hopefully, I won't finish that this month, but I'm hoping to finish the Heartstrings blanket by the end of next month. Hoping to finish my this cardigan, fingers crossed, this week. And then I have an idea for another blanket I want to start. I wasn't doing blankets for a really long time, and then now I'm starting to get the itch again to want to do blankets, kind of like I wanted to do shawls, which brings me to my next thing. I also have marked some shawls that I want to make. I've marked some yarn I want to use. I have not bought any yarn since whenever that Hobby Lobby sale was. That was the last time I've bought yarn. I have not bought any yarn. I have been working from my stash, and it has been so much fun. The stash is immense. I'm going through different closets and my different places where I have yarn, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I have that. Oh yeah, I forgot I had that. Even with this cardigan, when I knew immediately what yarn I wanted to use. And I went to pull it out, I only found 3 balls. And some people might say, oh gosh, I only have 3 balls. I didn't even stress because I knew when I bought this, I knew I have at least 8 balls of this black sparkle twinkle yarn. So I was like, I only see these 3 on, you know, in this corner of this bag in this closet where I'm keeping this pile of yarn, but I know I have at least 5 more. So I wasn't even worried. And that's kind of how it's been with my stash. Some things I only see 1 or 2, but I'm like, I know I have at least 1 or 2 more. So I'm not even gonna stress. I'll find it, it's somewhere. And a lot of times I have found it, all the time. So far I have found it. So it's been a lot of fun shopping my stash. I'm looking forward to continuing to shop my stash. And the only rule I have with, you know, if I do need to buy yarn is if it's mostly been, I have marked some yarns I need, like Stylecraft. I need some more black. I only have 2 more balls left. I have a project I want to work on that I want to border in black, so I know I'm going to need more black. So purchases like that where it's more solid colors or like base colors, so like black, white, or cream where I want to border something, grays where I plan to border different things, or, you know. But everything else, I've just been working from my stash. Well, that is all that I have for you all today. Again, thank you for sticking around with me. I'm so happy and excited to be back. And I just can't wait to see where things go from here. Thanks you all for watching. See you next time. Bye.